Hello everyone, I am Tessellating Hexagons, almost there now, just 3 more songs to review before I can get on with my top 41 for this year, which is really late because I've been so unforgivably slow with these reviews, so let's just jump right into things. First up of the final 3 we have Malta. I should be reacting this way because that's where the Maltese cross is. I know it has a proper name, I do not remember what it is off the top of my head, all I know is it says for gallantry on it, and I don't know where I'm going with this introduction, I'm just saying, hey, Malta has a flag. Who would have guessed? So, this year, they were going to be represented by the winner of the 2015 Junior Eurovision, Destined Chukwunyere MQR, yes, I'm using her full title because no one else seems to be, and a song called All of My Love. Alas, obviously this year's not happening. Allegedly, Destiny's manager has said that she will be internally selected for next year, but the Maltese broadcaster has not commented yet, so take that with a grain of salt, think for yourself. So, the song is fully in English, more or less as we'd expect from Malta, because every time they send a song that has even a little bit of Maltese in, even at Junior Eurovision, they just completely tank. So, yeah, fully in English, fair play to them, and English is one of their national languages anyway, alongside Maltese, so it's fine. So, music by Bernardo Brunovic, Borislav Milanov, Sebastian Arman, Dag Lundberg, Joachim Persson, and Cesar Sampson, and lyrics by all of the above apart from Cesar Sampson. So this ought to be interesting, and a fun little anecdote that I've been made aware of as well is, not only was this song submitted to the Croatian national final this year and turned down, this was also Polygenova's second choice after If Love Was a Crime from 2016. So this song has existed for a while, but has only now seen the light of day. And then the contest got cancelled. That is unlucky. So what do I think of this song then, now that it's finally been revealed to the world? Well, right at the start of the Eurovision season, or whenever it was that it became clear that Destiny was going to participate in the X Factor Malta, I had a feeling she would probably be a safe shoo-in to win that and make her long-awaited debut on the Eurovision stage at the adult contest. Granted, I think she was a backing singer for Michaela last year as well, but yeah. Anyway, whether or not that predictability is a good thing I'll come back to later in this review, but either way, here she is, sort of proving Simon Cowell wrong when she took part in the UK X Factor, or might have been Britain's Got Talent, didn't get very far, and Simon Cowell was like, "Oh, I didn't know there even was a junior song contest." Well, as an entertainment mogul, that is a massive failing on your part, Mr. Cowell. Suck it up. So yes, Destiny, she's here, she's owning it, she's travelling in a first-class seat right at the front of the hype train. And yeah, as I said, her manager has allegedly reported she'll be back next year, so a lot of what I'm saying might still apply. We will have to wait and see. Anyway, the first thing that I saw when I heard the song for the first time was the weird spoken word thing at the start of the music video. Bearing in mind how long that takes, and you know how much like running time that adds to a song that is otherwise just 3 minutes long, I feel like they probably weren't planning on bringing that into the live performance, and good, it kind of looked like a perfume advert. As for the song itself, well, adjusting for inflation, by which I mean the off-balance levels of hype surrounding her as an artist, I suppose the song meets expectations. Not quite the compliment I think Team Malta was aiming for here, but yeah, it's by no means an insult. Allow me to elaborate a little. As we've come to expect from Milanov, Persson and crew, this song promises a certain level of quality when it comes to the musical arrangement, and it absolutely delivers on that front, no questions asked. For the most part. It brings just the right levels of energy for this kind of style, which, much like Sweden this year, takes influences from the gospel style without being explicitly gospel outright itself. My personal favourite part of the arrangement is that transition into the second set of verses, how it handles the introduction of a more energetic percussion layer. I'm not sure how else to word it. But yeah, it allows the song to build from nothing to the first verses to the refrain, and then it pulls back for the second set of verses, but it doesn't go all the way back to square one. It's a journey from start to finish, and it works. On the whole, the percussion is one half of what gives this song its ideal levels of energy, with the other half coming from Destiny herself, naturally. This song is a rather energetic one in keeping with the intended tone and style, but it never comes across as excessive or hyperactive or overbearing, which is great. That means that it exudes the levels of get up and go that it's aiming for without being tiring or exhausting to listen to and without missing the mark. And that's by no means an easy balance to strike, so again, credit there, the writing team knew what they were doing. And let's give Destiny herself due credit here. We already know that from a young age, she has been able to absolutely crush performances like these when it comes to live delivery. She's got the vocal power, the charisma, the presence, the range, the energy, the style, and the song already suits her vocal abilities anyway. She would have brought plenty of confidence to the stage when presenting this song, and that would have made it all the more of a compelling, convincing performance. Maybe the reason why this song didn't reach the public sooner is because it was waiting for a singer like Destiny to give it that extra kick of life that it otherwise needed. Maybe that's why Croatia turned it down. What also works in her favour, as well, is that the song, as a whole, bears a satisfying rhythm and melody to listen to, particularly in the refrain itself. The whole like a river running wild part, you know the bit. It has just the right rhythm and punchiness that comes in waves and goes in waves, such that it enhances the beat of the song and vice versa. It goes together so well, making it an extremely boppable experience without coming across as cheap, disposable fast food pop. As if it needed spelling out once again, yes, Malta can be proud to call this one of their entries. Still, don't let the louder parts of the fandom shut you down here. You are not legally obligated to like this song just because it has Destiny at the helm. For one thing, though I agree that the refrain is suitably engaging, satisfying, and above all else memorable even after the song has ended, that comes at the expense of any other part of the song being particularly memorable in my experience. I honestly could not sing the verses back to you here and now. I don't remember the words, or the melody, or any of it, but the like a river running wild, yeah, the all the love I feel for you, yeah, those come to mind really easily. So their memorability at the expense of the rest of the song, kind of a double-edged sword there. And let's hold on to those memorable parts for a second here. I pulled the UK up on this, and I pulled Denmark up on this, so Malta is kind of fair game too here. The whole, like a river running wild, every brother, mother, child, that set of lyrics, that would be more impactful and effective if they weren't repeated so much. This is yet another instance where I would suggest having a part 2, a second variation to those lines when they come up. By all means, repeat the now we've found each other, don't let me down part, just sprinkle in some variety in between. Less is more when it comes to repeated lines. I mean, look at the all the love I feel for you part. That's less complex, so its repetition works so much more effectively. But I recognise that's just my opinion, but then again, that's why you're here, isn't it? Finally, a couple of minutes ago, I said that the musical arrangement is brilliant for the most part. I do take issue with the back half of the song a little bit, and especially the final minute. While it builds up very well for the first half of the song, like I said, it sort of plateaus around the second refrain. In short, I find that the final minute, the final refrain, lacks any major sense of occasion. It just sounds like, oh, we're going back to the refrain again, rather than the big climactic end of the journey part of the song, if that makes any sense. Sure, Destiny has a big power note at the end of the bridge to introduce and underscore it, but that massive power note is pretty much instantly sidechained into oblivion, to the point that it may as well never have been there in the first place. So it just sounds like a regular repeat of the refrain. It could be great, it just needs a few more tweaks to get there, and from the Symphonics crew, I'm surprised that they'd slip up like that. As I said though, just me and my thoughts. So, when it comes to ratings, I feel like I should be scoring it higher than this, but I'm landing on a personal 7 out of 10 here. This is another case of me enjoying the song well enough when it's on, but then rapidly losing interest by the time it's done. I want to like it more, and, much like with North Macedonia, I feel like this is something that I usually would enjoy more than I do, but for whatever reason, the best that I can say is, yeah, this is pretty good. Obviously, it wouldn't be fair to compare this to Destiny's junior Eurovision winning entry from 2015. If you haven't heard it, look it up. It's called Not My Soul. Check the iCard, I'll put it up there. But that played to her strengths so much more than this. You could tell that was written for her, whereas this was as I said, a song that had been sort of floated around quite a bit over the past couple of years. And thus, I find her winning song more enjoyable. Don't get me wrong, I think she would have done brilliantly with this. She would have put her stamp on it and it would have worked really well. It's just, I think that the contest's cancellation will give her and her team the time necessary to come back with something even more captivating and custom written for her style next year. Or they might not, but I'm just saying they have the time available to them now. On a similar note, I'll give this a technical rating of 8 out of 10. Again, it's damnation by faint praise here, because we have an excellent singer, no one's arguing with that, Destiny is brilliant, seriously, like, I'm not trying to be sycophantic here, she is an excellent performer. And the song itself is only pretty good, and that's where the points start coming down a little bit here. The parts that need to be memorable are memorable, and the parts that are meant to be pleasing to the ear are pleasing to the ear. It's just, we know that Destiny is capable of much more compelling stuff than this. I think what would give this song the boost it needs is to give the final minute a greater sense of occasion. For heaven's sake, no key changes, stay away from that school of thought. But instead of tuning her power note down, try turning it up and sidechaining the lead vocals instead, just for the duration of that. Like, you know, Germany's a good example here, what with their inclusion of the brass line to give it something to underscore it. Look at basically any song that Molly Peterson-Hammer was involved in, like, she's all about the final minute power notes. Just something similar could be done here, just to give it that extra impact, that extra oomph that it feels like it's currently missing. That and, you know, giving an extra lyrical variant to the river running wild part, of course, because variation is a good thing, just a thought to play around with. Not that it matters, obviously this song can't compete now, but, you know, just throwing it out there. So, is this a step in the right direction for Malta? I won't say no by any means, but I will give it a yellow arrow. Switching from MESC to the X Factor Malta was a good step last year, and it served Malta well with Michaela and now Destiny as well. It's a way of ensuring that the best singer makes it through without having to make compromises on the song in the process, for reasons that I mentioned back in my review of Georgia's song. The two main problems with it are that the X Factor tends to reward the most versatile singer. Like, if you go on the X Factor and compete with the same genre of song week in, week out, the judges are going to start calling you out on it pretty quickly, and that doesn't really matter at Eurovision. As long as you can sing your one competing entry well enough, that's fine. That, and the other issue, well, Destiny holds a Medaglia Galchadita Republica. I probably said that horribly wrong, but at least I tried. Because she won the junior contest in 2015. She's a national hero, and rightly so. She has the Maltese equivalent to an MBE, OBE, one of the BEs. She's basically the Maltese version of a Knight of the Royal whatever. I don't know how my own country does it, but the point is, much like Sunstroke Project from Moldova, she's got one of her country's highest honours. They only give 10 of those out per year. So yes, she's kind of a big deal. As a result, there was kind of never any contest the moment she threw her hat into the ring for the X Factor. She was never not going to win the singer selection, which made it a bit of a pointless venture, especially for the other participants. Don't get me wrong, she's a great singer, and she almost definitely deserved her win. It's just, even if she hadn't, she probably would have had a massive advantage going into the selection process anyway. In fairness, MESC was no less susceptible to that, because, I mean, 2016, Irolosco, the contest was kind of over before it started because, obviously, again, you know, she came second for Malta back in the day, so she was a big deal. You know how it is. So it's slightly flawed, but it's not heavily flawed, is what I'm saying, because at least they provide a song for the singer and workshop it and all the other good stuff that comes with an internal song selection. You know what I'm saying here. But I digress. Would this have qualified? Well, because of the hype surrounding both the song and its singer, this was essentially a guaranteed finalist, and in absolute fairness, yeah, Malta would absolutely deserve that. Destiny is, as I said, an excellent singer, a brilliant performer in her own right, and her live delivery would doubtless have more than counterbalanced the song's compositional shortcomings and seen Malta back into the final once again. As I said before, Malta can absolutely be proud to say this is one of their songs, but I think having the extra 12 months or so to prepare something even more special for next year will do Team Destiny a world of good. This time around, they can write something that bounces off her strengths directly, rather than reworking a song that has bounced around delegations since at least late 2015. But those are just my thoughts. What do you lovely people think? I want to hear what you think. Have I been talking out my backside this entire time? Have I been preaching the word of Jan Ola Sand? Let me know how you feel. iCard for your immediate thoughts on the song. Do you like, do you not, do you feel mediocre? It's all valid, and comments below let me know your full details of thoughts and such like, and yeah, are you sad to see this song go? I'm sad to see all the songs go, even the ones I don't particularly like. So yes, if Destiny has been internally selected for next year, then very best of luck to her. If not, then good luck to whoever Malta is sending next year. I think they have a lot of promise, so I look forward to seeing what they come up with either way. So see you next year, Malta!